Ninjago has a large and expansive world that will never be forgotten. There is so much happening within this universe, it is truly difficult to comprehend how much is truly the case. We all love our beloved ninja team and the adventures they go on, and very clearly, in-universe, so do the citizens. The ninja are a piece of legend. They are a tale told to the people. They are told in stories to the children. They are something more than just ninja. They are saviors, they are protectors, they are something that most people in the universe look up to. It is really cool, and I'm glad that they do get that appreciation. But would you be interested to hear that I'm pretty certain I have discovered an undercover black market within Ninjago's universe? I think I am ready to expose a new and interesting angle of what this place is actually capable of, and more specifically, expose the larpers in the universe, expose the fake ninja fans, as I think that there is some evidence to suggest it, and I want to show it off. So let me not waste any more of your time, and let's talk about the larpers or the exposed Ninjago markets. Now, I want to set the scene for how I uncovered this information in the way that I did it. I was just looking through some general Ninjago stuff recently. I was looking through images from earlier seasons, comparing them to Dragon's Rising, and just having a general look around when it does come to environments. And one thing that I just kept picking up on was the reutilization of the Sword of Fire. Not specifically the actual golden weapon of Spinjitzu, but just simply the model that they use within the show. It is a fairly common recurring asset, and we've seen it a few times over the course of the years as recent as Ninjago Legends. But the thing is, and like everything with the Weavy channel, I can't simply justify the idea that it's just a simple case of asset reuse. I have to assume that there is something more to it no matter what, because it's there in the universe, so it has to make sense. And I couldn't stop thinking about this Sword of Fire replica. I kept seeing it in many different places. I kept thinking about the fact that the Sword of Fire was places that I just simply never expected. I saw it in Legends, like I said, next to the mech. I saw it on Ronan's Rex airship, 4 of them sticking out to be specific. I saw a handful of them within Yang's temple. I kept seeing Swords of Fire everywhere, and multiples of them, and it started to make me wonder, where are all of these Swords of Fire coming from? But then I realized something even further. I started to notice that it wasn't just the Sword of Fire that we kept seeing. For example, in Possession, where the ninja sneak into Ronan's shop, they find the Blade Cup, which has a fang blade in it. Cole acknowledges it even as a real one by the looks of it. But the thing is that is physically impossible. The thing is that can't exist because the fang blade was taken out, used in Ouroboros, and was presumably destroyed. I believe it was later confirmed by the writers, however, that it was fake. Keep an eye on that little detail. And then I also remembered another very interesting moment. I remembered that we actually got to see multiple depictions of ninja outfits being seen beyond the ninja themselves, and a very specific wording that does come to them. For one, there was one in Cliff Gordon's office. There was a JZX outfit in that space. I wonder how he got his hands on that. But the more specific one, and in my opinion the more damning one, was more importantly, the one that we see within Mother Doomsday's comic shop in Season 2. He notes to the ninja and to Lloyd that they are authentic ninja gear signed by the ninja who saved the city. He is clarifying that they are authentic ninja gear. So I started to think, where is all of this stuff coming from? Why is it that it's clarified as being authentic stuff? Why is it that there are many Swords of Fire? Why is it that all of these things do exist? And then it started to dawn on me. The users of the Sword of Fire, for example, and also the users of the other things that we have seen. All of it, in some way, shape or form, connects back to the ninja, or connects back to the first Spinjitzu master. And every single thing that you see can be connected to one of those two things. So, let's do that. The Swords of Fire, for example, the one that we see within Legends is the original Master of Fire, who we know was handpicked by the first Spinjitzu master himself, who had the Sword of Fire. Obviously, seeing this elemental weapon that had the element that he was chosen to have, of course you would want some form of replica of it. And then think in terms of Yang. Yang had his own temple, he was his own master, he had his own martial art that was very clearly inspired off of Spinjitzu. So, have some swords of fire that look like the one that the first Spinjitzu master has as well. And then lastly, the ones on the Ronin Rex. Of course, one of the most impressive artifacts, one of the more recognized things in all of the land, to the point where Ronin even mentions it by name to the ninja. He literally states, come on guys, you stole the golden weapons. He is very clearly aware of what they are and what they do. So having them on its own ship, have that own little mantle of expensiveness, has that feeling of premium, has that high quality feel. So all of the Swords of Fire can be explained, and by extension the Blade Cup, because Ronin's clearly in the know of the ninja. And then lastly, like I said, those ninja suits are very easy to explain because of that as well. I mean, Mother Doomsday got them from the ninja, and the one that Cliff Gordon got presumably is a real one, but that could always just be a counterfeit because it's obviously from his son. But note how I use the word counterfeit. This goes into what I believe is the Ninjago black market, the Ninjago larpers if you will, the people who essentially want to be a ninja but can't be. I believe that all of this is an indication that in Ninjago City, or in Ninjago, or the merged realms as a whole, exists a network of people who make counterfeit ninja artifacts, counterfeit weapons, counterfeit suits, counterfeit anything, something that they can sell as a means of making a profit off of the fact that the ninja are the heroes of Ninjago itself. What if there are people out there, like Ronin for example, who are making counterfeit replicas of the Sword of Fire, the nunchucks, the scythe, the shurikens, making the ninja suits for example as well. Think of the museum from Possession. There is a Lloyd kimono outfit in that museum, but the thing is that the arm comes off and doesn't actually leave the cloth of the outfit itself. That is not a real ninja suit, that is a fake ninja suit. So what if we're looking at a situation where people are producing these fake rip-off counterfeit ninja items as a means of making an actual profit? And what are they doing with them? Well, that could be many things. Are they just pretending to be the ninja themselves? Are they just people who are just trying to take some fame from the ninja? Are they people who want to display it like we've already seen? Are these people who are just trying to have some form of memorabilia as a way of actually having something that actually represents the ninja? What if there are Ninjago collectors in Ninjago? What if there are more? What if there are people who want these artifacts and these items as a mean of appreciating the ninja or trying to rip off the ninja? When you look at it in this lens, you realize that any sort of asset reuse, which is ultimately the reason why it's all there, it is completely explained by this idea. Anytime you see a replica of the Techno Blades, or of the Aero Blades, or of the Jin Blade, or the Time Blade, or the ninja weapons in general. Think again of the kid from Season 11. He has the Kai outfit on from Season 11. That's definitely not real, that's a t-shirt. What if it is just the case of people who are gaining all of these items because they are just ninja fans? What if this is just a case of asset reuse being an indication that there is a huge market out there of people who just simply love the ninja? I'll calm down. I think it just kind of makes sense, and it does give a cool way of justifying asset reuse. Of course, like I said, that is why these exist. But what if there is something more in the universe? What if there is an underground black market of ninja items and gear? What if there are Ninjago larpers in that universe? What if there is something more that we just never got to see? I love this idea, and I would love to know what you guys think of it as well. Because on an overall, I like this interpretation. I love to justify something as small as asset reuse as a Ninjago black market. I think it's a cool way to justify these little things that happen because of out-of-universe antics. I think it's just a fun way to interpret the show, and I would like to know if you like it as well. But thank you very much for watching the video, and I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider subscribing. I love discussing Ninjago with more people, and if you do want to support the channel any further, which you do not have to, you can always become a channel member and join the legends that you see on screen. Each of your support means the absolute world to me, and I truly cannot thank you enough. Well, thank you very much for the ramble. I'm expecting some interesting comments. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and take care. Okay,